Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in to another video. Today we have the final Inuyasha figure from the series of the figures I currently have, and it is going to be Sango. So this was a figure that I was barely able to find. There was one seller who gave me what I thought was a fair price, and I jumped on it right away. Had to have her to complete the Inuyasha, Kagome, Moroku, and Sango team. And this one is a really neat figure. It comes with a boomerang, comes with Kilala, and it also comes with the sword and a stand to help her stand up easier, make it great for display. You already tell just from the packaging that this figure, the detail on it is just amazing. Her facial expression is perfect. All the paint, all little details are just spot on. So I'm really excited to get this one out of the pack. Just the packaging real quick. We've got kind of the purple in the back. We've got Sango here with Kilala. There's a full body kind of drawing back there. And then we've got the same down here. Tells us what comes in the package. You can see all the accessories. And then in the back, we have another picture of her. And then we have the figure up close. So just showing where she's holding her boomerang, where she's got her sword, and the type of posing that you can do, whether you put the sword in your hand or you put the boomerang in your hand. So really neat figure. Excited to get this out of the pack. All the other ones have been amazing. They have not disappointed at all. So I cannot wait to get this one out as well. We've done Inuyasha, Kagome. It's a Shomer with the open mouth. And Moroku. I'm doing my best to try to get Kikyo, Naraku, Koga, Kagra, and complete the whole set. So we have our knife over here on the side, which we will use to cut into the packaging in the bottom to do as little damage, hopefully, as possible. See, I might just have to get this a little bit of a lift. All right, there we go. And then we will get the knife in there for the rest to help lift that up just a little bit. And if you guys are looking for these figures, I mentioned to a few people in the comments, I've only been able to find them on eBay. And I have been able to get good deals on them, but it's pretty hard to find one of those good deals. So if you go on there now, you might see some of these selling for, $150 to $350. And if you want to spend that much money on it, by all means, do what you think is best. But I would just recommend checking in regularly. I'd say 3-4 times a week and seeing if anybody posts one for a lower price. Sometimes you might have somebody who bought this long ago, or they had a kid who had it and it just stayed in storage. Maybe the kid moved out and they're looking to get rid of some of these figures. And that's usually where I found I get the deals. If someone's not really a fan of the show, they just have some things that have been in storage they want to move on from, and I'm able to get a good deal on it. So in the packaging here, you can see the full body picture. So we'll set that off to the side, and then we will get the figure over here. So we have our picture with the character flap that's taped down, and then we have this covering to keep the accessories in, and we have our little Kilala cat, which is so cute. Great detailing too, great paint. You can see little details there in her fur. That's the best thing about these Toynami figures, is they pay attention to every single detail. And seeing this, I wish they would have included a little shippo along with the Kagome figure. It'd be a nice touch, because that's the only character we don't have from our good guy group. And we have the sheath to the sword here. We have the actual sword, and again, they nailed it here with the paint on the handle. Looks really nice. We've got a little bit of a cut from opening up the package. So if you're opening these up, just be careful with the plastic. It can be a little sharp. We got the boomerang here. So let's see if we can get that out. Now this is neat. It's nice and durable. It does not feel like it's gonna break at all. It's definitely not delicate like some of the swords we've seen. And then this here is a plastic piece, and this here is a little bit of rubber. So really, really nice there. Absolutely love that. Great detailing. And then let's get the figure out. And, okay, this one is zip tied in. Awesome. So let's go ahead and take that off. And these figures, always a little bit tougher to get out. But let's see if the Sango comes out a little bit easier than the other ones did. So we'll get that plastic piece out of the way. sticker, and this packaging. All right, so that was our easiest figure that's come out. And we'll set that off to the side. And then let's take a look at this figure. So right off the bat, you can tell, I mean, anybody's a fan of the manga or the anime, she's got an intense look on her face. She's ready to fight. Her hair kind of blowing in the wind. See kind of the matte black finish on the outfit, and you can kind of see this corally color on her armor down here at the bottom, up on her shoulders. She has the red piece around her fingers, which is a nice detail. Again, the coral there, nice design right there. Got the pads on the elbows, sheath for the sword. This here is also kind of fluttering in the wind. The whole figure is just really an action pose. I mean, they nailed it with the design. Anyone who's a fan of the show, you'll definitely want to get this figure. Even down here, you can see the ties. Again, a nice coral red down here on the boots, in the back of the figure. You can see the red holding the armor up, back of the sheath. Detailing on the boots again. Great looking figure, and a great addition to this collection. So her wrists, actually her arm turns here, her wrist is her arm turns here, so you can put the sword in her hand, which is what we will go ahead and do. So let's see. Now 1 second guys, I'll have to take the paper off because the stand is down here. For this figure, we definitely want to have a stand for it. Just make sure we got this in the right leg, so she'll stand up no problem. Awesome. And then we will get the sword in her hand. That fits perfectly. Okay, so her wrist does turn, and then we'll get the sheath, which we will place. Okay, not really sure how that sheath is gonna fit in there. Okay, it might be another one of those things. Sorry for the blur. It might be one of those things I have to figure out off the camera because this is just not, doesn't look it's really gonna fit in there. So I'll see if I can adjust that a little bit. But anyway, here you can see her with the sword. You can kind of see that pose. And then we can also do the boomerang, which will be a nice touch. Is classic Sango. And I mean, they set this up perfectly. It fits right in her hand. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and set the figure down, and we will bring the camera down so you guys can see. Let's see if the sword will fit in the, so the sword will fit in there, and maybe we can just pull the sheath over the sword this way. Okay, won't try to play around with that too much just so it doesn't break, but I'll show you guys what I was trying to do. So let's go down and take a look at this figure. And there she is up close. You can see her holding the boomerang. You can kind of see the whole action pose. She's got her arm up. I put the sword in there. I couldn't get the sheath to fit in. So when I put the sword in there, and so you guys can see her, she's got the sword, and she's got the boomerang, and then little Kilala right there. And of course, the rest of the figures, the rest of the crew right there behind her. It's an awesome figure. One of my favorite from the Inuyasha collection. You just have to appreciate the details. I was trying to get the sheath onto the sword from down here, but again, the swords are very flimsy on these figures. So if you're trying to put them in the sheath or take them out or get the sheath through that loop, just be really careful not to break it. Not really sure if you just have to super glue it afterwards. And if you do, you may just have to kind of glue the handle onto the sheath and you won't be able to take the sword out anymore. So I think this is probably the pose I prefer, and I will see if I can get that sheath to fit into the belt. And if I can, I will do a full review video again of all the figures, just showing them in some detail up close to the camera, going over the features, maybe a 5-6 minute video. I'll go through and see if I can exchange the Moroku hands and if I can get that sheath through there so you can see the figures and basically their fullest, see every single thing they can do, get all little details. If you have any questions, just leave a comment down below. But here is the Sango figure up close. I hope you guys enjoy the Inuyasha series. I hope to have more of these soon, and I'm just going to show you really quickly a preview of what's coming up next as far as the Spider-Man figures. And we will wrap this up, so it shouldn't take long at all. But we have the Spider-Man figure that I showed in a figure preview recently from the movie. Just going to give kind of a quick glance at it here. Got the batteries for this, so this will be a really fun one to show. It does a lot of neat things. And then we also have the Electro figure from the Marvel Retro Legends. Excited to do that one. And then we have another Green Goblin, an updated version of a figure I've already done on this channel, and so we'll do a comparison of the figure from the animated series and the new Marvel Retro Legends. So thank you so much for tuning in. Here's one more look at Sango up close, and I will see you guys in the next video.